everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
Oh my God, why am I? That was Price is Right.
Did you have shroom coffee this morning?
No, I did not.
I had my shroom coffee this morning, and I should show you, but it requires me moving a bunch of shit. Well, I guess I can do it pretty easily. I am packing down the studio.
Oh, man.
I took down
all the curtains and everything.
The curtains on that side. That's what I've been doing this morning.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Welcome aboard.
Jean-Luc Picard to the Starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
That is enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the Starship Enterprise.
You can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
We are Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
And welcome to Humanist Trek. It's a comedy Star Trek podcast about the humanism in Star Trek. I'm Sarah Ray.
And I'm Allie Ashmead.
And Allie, the mailbag overfloweth again.
Oh, wow.
Incoming hail. Answer the call, Allie.
You've reached the USS Humanist Trek. How can I direct your call?
Warp to Captain. Incoming transmission. It is coded Priority 1.
Put it through, Mr. Wolf.
So first I want to tell you about another review we received out on the internet. And again, folks, please review us anywhere you listen. This one comes to us from Arturo.
Okay.
Who says, delightfully fun Trek podcast. I'm speeding through old episodes.
Awesome.
Love the humanist approach, especially when Sarah and Allie's views do not align exactly with mine.
Oh.
Yeah. I love it. I love that we're making people think and like...
Hopefully we're making people laugh and we're making people take a second look at all those old episodes.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you for that, Arturo. And everyone else, challenge is on. Run out to your favorite podcast player of choice, wherever you listen to the show, and submit us a 5-star review. They really help get us out there and get more people finding us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Arturo.
Our second message this week comes to us by voicemail, which you can also do by calling 920-550-TREK.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Allie. It's Karen Dramera.
Karen!
I'm listening to your podcast, Time Squared. At first, I want to wish you a happy anniversary. 3 years is a great milestone. And this episode, I've already been laughing so hard. It reminds me of why I started listening to you guys in the first place. Always entertaining. And then the last thing I want to say is I heard you guys say one time, like, oh, do people listen to the podcast then watch the episode? Or do they do it in reverse? What I do often, because you guys are so funny and so good, is I'll be listening to it and I go, oh, no, I need to stop. And I'll stop listening to the podcast, watch the episode, and return. So that's another way. Anyway, again, happy anniversary, and keep up the good work. Thanks so much for entertaining me. You guys are great. Okay, bye-bye.
Karen, thank you so much.
Karen, I love this woman. She's
right?
an amazing person. She's so funny to hang around with, and we just have such a good time. Anytime I see her, wherever we are, if we're on a cruise or if we're on the the Star Trek Las Vegas. Absolutely adore her. She's amazing. Thank you, Karen.
Karen also sent a postscript in the way of a text message, which you can also do by texting 920-550-TREK. And Karen says, I forgot to mention, I absolutely loved the car talk joke. Okay, that's all. Thank you, Karen. Woo! One person got it. One person got the joke.
One person other than Sarah knows what the fuck that is.
Oh, God.
I love it. Thank
yes.
you.
And then our final message comes to us from Derek on our Discord, who says, I was thinking the other day that it will be especially fun to listen to the episodes when you finally get to Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
I had ChatGPT figure out how many episodes were in each series leading up to that. If you do one podcast a week without a break, I guess we'll get to those in about 13 years.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Oh, well, I mean, it's hard to think of that we've been doing this already for 3 years.
I know, it's bonkers.
13. Well, that's guaranteed something to do for the next 13 years.
Yep. My favorite thing to do on Sunday mornings is do this
Me too.
Stupid podcast with my best friend.
All right. Well, let's do it. All right.
Hell yeah. But we should warn you about using AI for anything. 13 years may be accurate. It may not be. AI is notoriously wrong about lots of shit. And worst case scenario, it could start developing its own race of cybernetic aliens that try to take everything over.
Let's hope we don't run into them.
Like we do this week in Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 16, Q Who. And thanks so much, Derek, for the handoff from the intro to the episode.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for using AI so that we could make a dumb segue.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? That's something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse comm.
Number one, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir, number one, keep them out of my way.
We have a new crew member this week, Ensign Sonia Gomez.
Oh, yeah.
She is in engineering, ordering up a hot chocolate from the replicator, and she's using please and thank you, which Geordi is like, dude, it's a computer. We don't normally do that around here. And my God, this conversation is timely because she talks about like how working with AI like this can be dehumanizing. And, so why not? Why not use pleases and thank yous?
I will say, when I have to use it for work, I say, please, can you do this? It feels so weird to ask, because I'm asking a computer to do this formatting thing for me and put this document into this format, whatever I'm asking.
Yep.
And I do want to say please and thank you. And it's just weird. And I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah.
Well, perhaps the USA Today can tell you how to feel about it. If you're using AI in the year of our Lord 2025, you better skip the pleasantries, because in April, USA Today ran this headline saying please and thank you to ChatGPT has cost OpenAI tens of millions of dollars, the company's CEO said on social media.
Why?
Because every word that you put into ChatGPT uses computing power that it otherwise wouldn't be using. And so electricity and water and all the things it takes to run these massive computers, we're wasting money by being nice.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
But it feels weird not to, doesn't it?
It does.
If you're just like, computer, do this command like we do on Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a little weird. I don't know.
It does feel weird. But then again, you made a great point. Nobody asks the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Please, or maybe they do. I don't know. I'll pay attention now.
Sonia does, but doesn't nobody else do it. Anyway, Geordi's like, hey, you sure do have a lot of opinions. And she's like, oh, God, no, am I talking too much? I talk too much. Gosh, I'm so sorry. It's just that when I get excited, I talk a lot. And getting this assignment on the Enterprise is so super exciting. And oh, my God, I'm so excited. And I could have been doing antimatter phase work on some fucking planet because that's my specialty. And oh, no, I'm doing it again, aren't I?
Yes.
Poor girl.
I know people like that. Like,
yeah.
And it's sweet, but they gotta like chill. Okay.
Yeah.
Chill. Stop talking because you're ruining it.
Girl, take a deep breath.
Yeah. And Geordi, like, he assures her, we know why you got this assignment because you're good at what you do. So I get it. You're excited. Okay. Just chill.
Sonia is played by Lycia Naff, who was in Lethal Weapon and Total Recall, and we will see her again in Trek. But she plays this nervous, excited ensign really, really well.
Yeah.
Like, she's just going on and on and on. And Geordi's like, hey, given this whole excited, nervous energy that you have, maybe we don't want to have a cup of hot chocolate near the computers. Maybe that's a thing we don't do.
She's like, oh, yeah, so I'll just go take that over here. I don't know what I'm thinking. And of course, what does she do? She runs smack dab into Captain Picard and spills it all over him and her. And then
she's
trying to wipe. She's trying to wipe his front. I'm like, stop, just stop.
Right. Girl, that isn't going to clean anything up with your bare hands.
No.
Stop it. Picard's like, maybe instead of you feeling me up like this, maybe I just go change my clothes, huh? And of course, Geordi's trying to take responsibility for his new engineer. And at this point, I want to point out that this scene had to have been specifically written for this nervous, klutzy moment, which was super obvious to me because why was Picard in engineering? He doesn't ask for anything. He just gets shit spilled on him and then leaves. So it must not have been some important thing that he was down there for. He literally came down there to get hot chocolate spilled all over him.
Whatever he was down there for, he forgot about it because they needed to get him in the turbo lift to get him to this next scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing I can think of.
And not being film studies people, I have been, I've listened to other podcasters who are and picking up little bits and pieces of like, oh, I noticed this thing that I normally wouldn't have noticed as just a regular viewer.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking down the hallway and the camera is at like maybe hip level. It's a low shot.
Mm-hmm.
And so this low shot gives you this uncomfortable feeling like something is definitely not right because that's not anywhere we ever see the camera following someone down the hallway. And it's just a visual language that they use in production that, you know, as a casual viewer, you don't necessarily know these things, but you definitely notice them in your subconscious.
Yes, I was going to say it makes you feel something different. Whether you notice, you don't understand why, but you know something's weird about this. Yeah, good point. Because I did not notice, but I knew so. Like I knew something was going to happen.
Something's coming. Something's coming.
Yeah. So he's in the turbolift, expecting to go to the officers' quarters, but then when the door opens, he's in this dark shuttlecraft, and he sees a crewman sitting at the helm, and he's like, crewman, what's going on? And guess who the fuck it is? It's Q.
No, damn it, Q.
And he's like, welcome to Shuttlecraft 6.
Q. Fucking Q. He does a great little hand wipe trick here and cleans Picard's uniform off. Picard's like, damn it, Q, you promised you wouldn't fuck around with my ship again. And Q's like, indeed, and you'll notice we're nowhere near your ship.
Have I been talking too much?
No.
Oh, I do tend to have a bit of a motor mouth, especially when I'm excited. And you don't know how exciting it is to have gotten this assignment. Everyone in class, everyone wants the Enterprise. It would have been all right to spend some time on Raina 6, do phase work with antimatter. That's my specialty. I did it again. It's just that...
I know, you're excited. Look, Sonia.
Yes?
I don't think you want to be around these control stations with that hot chocolate, do you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have this in engineering. It's just we were talking. I forgot I had it in my hand. I'm gonna go finish it over here. Lieutenant LaForge, this is not gonna happen again. Oh, no! Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Captain.
Oh, shit. God damn it, you've got to be kidding. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
I love this. Geordi has taken on this new engineer as a kind of project. And so Geordi and Sonya are headed to 10 Forward because he thinks she needs to learn how to calm the fuck down. And she's like, no way, I can't just relax. And this is all because she had to be like a super driven person in Starfleet Academy to even get this assignment. And he's like, yeah, and now you got the job. So now you need to take a deep breath and chill the fuck out. I promise I won't let anything exciting happen without letting you know.
But in 10 Forward, Guinan's standing at the bar, I think talking to someone. And then she just gets this look in her face and kind of just walks off.
Like a chill went down her spine. She got the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, like people say somebody walks up your grave. Do you have that saying back when you were growing up? Anyway, yeah, so she's got the heebie-jeebies. She calls the bridge. And Riker's like, wait, what are you calling the bridge for? You never call the bridge. She asks him if everything is okay. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, is there anything strange happening? He says no, but she's just like, I've got this feeling, and I've had it a few times before, but never mind. 10 Forward out.
Sorry to bother you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust your gut, Guinan.
Yeah.
Back on the shuttle, Picard tries a locator beacon, but Q says the Enterprise would never think to look for him this far out. And so then Picard tries to blow in a phone call to the D, but that's no use either. And Q's like, listen, JLP, we have business to discuss.
What sort of business do you suppose he is getting down to?
Back in 10 Forward, Sonya and Geordi are talking, and Geordi notices in the background something's troubling Guinan. And see, a brother always knows when a sister is not okay. He stops his conversation with Sonya, and he's like, are you okay, Guinan? Is everything okay? She's like, I don't know. And for some reason, that prompts him to like get up and say, I got to go to engineering. And of course, Sonya goes too.
I think it's just so out of Guinan's character. She's always this jovial bar host that's, fluttering around and being friendly to everybody. And when she's like, something just ain't right here, everybody should be going, oh shit, something ain't right here.
Yeah.
Troy arrives on the bridge looking for Picard, but when she calls his quarters, there's no answer. And the computer indicates that Captain Picard is not aboard the D. And then Worf notices a shuttle is missing. So Riker hit the brakes, and Data puts in a search pattern, and we'll try to cover the most area in the least amount of time. And I also want to mention here, again, with everything going on right now related to AI and how it seems like overnight, AI has just been baked into literally everything. I thought about what happens when I give my smart speaker device a command like this. Riker says, Data, use our present location as a center, plot a search pattern from these coordinates to cover the most area in the least time. And if this were 2025, Data would respond, now playing Time After Time on Apple Music, or some fucking useless nonsense like that.
I want it, what, now you got to try it. But yeah.
Yeah. She only understands very short, simple commands. You get complicated with her, she's like, I don't know what to do.
My Echo I'll be watching TV, and my Echo will just be like, I don't understand that command. You know what I mean? I'm like,
bitch, I wasn't talking to you.
Exactly. Who the fuck was talking to you, Echo? Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, Riker records a log. We've been searching 6 hours and covered pretty much the whole area that a non-warp shuttle could have gone in that amount of time, and they found nothing. So we're going to expand the area and keep searching. Meanwhile, on the shuttlecraft, Q is throwing a ball against the wall and catching it. And he's basically telling Picard he needs to quit being stubborn and just hear him out. Picard demands to be returned to the D, and Q says, if I return you to your ship, you'll agree to give my request a full hearing? And Picard agrees, and suddenly we're back in 10 Forward. It's empty now, except one, Guinan. She pops up from behind the bar.
And then on the bridge, suddenly Worf reports that, hey, the shuttle's back in the bay and the captain is in 10 Forward.
Riker takes off like he's about to, I'm going to go find out what the fuck is going on down there.
Surely they know. They have an inkling.
Do we stay out here years? Decades? I'm ageless, Picard. You are not.
The Enterprise will continue with Riker as captain.
You're an impossibly stubborn human.
Return me to my ship!
In 10 forward, Guinan is like, you motherfucker. I knew it. I knew it was you.
And then Q is being combative towards her. He's like, Picard, if you have any sense at all, you get rid of this bitch immediately.
Turns out they have a history.
Yes.
They had some dealings a couple centuries ago. And I love that it seems like we learn a lot here about their histories, but in reality, it's really not that much. It's just the way it was written and played. You really get that feeling that they know each other quickly.
Yeah, we learn enough. Q says that she's not what she appears to be, and wherever she goes, trouble always follows. But that is totally projecting, because that's him. That's him. And of course, Picard ain't listening to that shit.
Apparently, also, Guinan used to go by a different name back in the day. And apparently, she might be able to deflect his powers, because when he raises his hand toward her and offers to get rid of her for Picard, she puts up her hands in this like defensive posture, like she's going to stop his Q powers.
Okay. Has anyone seen The Color Purple? Have you seen The Color Purple?
Not in 100 years, but yes, I love The Color Purple.
Okay. She does this thing with her hands in there too. That was just so reminds me of what Guinan did here. And when she tells her father or whatever that she kind of puts a curse on him. She's like, well, whatever happens to you or whatever, I don't know. She throws some sort of hex on him, just in words. But that so reminded me of The Color Purple.
Oh, that's amazing. I need more of this though. Guinan can match Q. Like, I need more. Develop that, please. I need more of this.
I want to know Guinan's story. Yeah, like you've done Picard. Show me Guinan. I want at least one season of Guinan's story.
Yeah. Riker and Worf come ripping in, and Q's like, "Oh, the redoubtable Commander Riker and Micro Brain, growl for me. Let me know you still care."
Growl for me, baby. Let me see your grill. I'm thinking he always gets the zingers in for Worf, and talking about how Neanderthal he is.
It turns out that this whole visit is because the Continuum kicked Q out, and he's looking for a place to crash. He offers to become part of the crew, and considering the Enterprise is already home for the indigent, the unwanted, the unworthy, you know, what's a lonely, homeless Q amongst all of that? And Picard's like, you are definitely what we're out here for, to seek out new life. Well, there it sits or whatever, but you're a chaos agent. We don't want you around here. You're fucking crazy. You cause all kinds of trouble. Picard sends Worf to guard the door, and Q begins making his argument. After the last Q episode, he was voted off Q Island. He's been wandering aimlessly about the cosmos, but then he remembered all the fun times he had with the crew of the Enterprise. And Riker's like, good times. So far, you've put us on trial for the crimes of humanity, and then you tried to get me to join your freaky little cult.
And then now he's just disrupted the ship and kidnapped the captain. So he's like, oh, I just add a little excitement, you know, a little spice to your life, and all you do is complain.
Q says he doesn't expect any special treatment. In fact, he's even willing to give up his Q powers to join the crew. And Guinan growls in disgust and moves over behind the bar closer to Picard, looking like she's about to argue against all of this. But Picard's like, nope, no deal, Howie, no way. I'm going to be as direct as possible here. Please listen when I say this. We don't trust you. And Q argues back, well, you maybe don't trust me, but you do need me because you're not ready for what's out here. And Picard thinks they are prepared at least to encounter the unknown, if not to deal with it. And Q turns to Guinan to say, God, they're so arrogant. They have no idea what's out there.
But at least Guinan has some hope for them. And she's like, they'll learn and they'll adapt. But Q says something. He says that they're moving faster than expected and further than they should.
According to whose metrics? Picard is like, you're the arbiter, you're the judge again to judge us of how quickly we should be moving.
And Q brings up, you've dealt with the Klingons and the Romulans, but you don't even know what's out there. There's nothing compared to what's coming. And he's like, I'm offering you myself as a guide.
This whole discussion builds to Q throwing the Enterprise across the universe because Picard refuses his help, to demonstrate how much they, 1, have no idea what's out there, and 2, how much they actually do need him.
Yeah, so they go like hurling through space, and Picard's like, fuck. He's like, he calls up to the bridge and tells Wesley, I'll stop. And then they find out that they have traveled 7,000 light years from where they were.
Riker asks, how long would it take to get to the nearest starbase? And Data answers, 2 years, 7 months, 3 days, and 18 hours. And they're all like, oh, shit. But the camera cuts to Captain Janeway rolling her eyes. That's nothing. Chumps.
Yeah.
Q disappears in a flash, and Picard and Riker turn to Guinan because her people have been in this part of the galaxy. And Guinan's like, well, all I can tell you is you'd better point this ship back toward the Federation and get going as fast as you can. Cut to Captain's log. Despite Guinan's warning, I feel compelled to investigate this unexplored sector of the galaxy before we head back. Come the fuck on.
Why? She, you trust her, and if she tells you don't go in there, you don't go in there. But, yeah.
Listen to the black woman, please.
Exactly. This is, oh my God, this entire Borg bullshit was because they didn't listen to a black woman in the first place. Oh my God.
On the bridge, they find a nearby Class M planet, which has a lot of indications of a highly industrialized civilization, except that all the machine elements have been scooped off the face of the planet, and Data remarks that this is identical to what happened to the outposts along the Romulan DMZ, and this is a reference back to the Season 1 episode, The Neutral Zone, which was supposed to be part 1 of a trilogy that would introduce the Borg, but then the writer's strike happened.
I did not know that it was going to be, the Borg would have been day 1.
Yes,
wow.
we would have started Season 2 with the Borg threat.
And I'm glad they waited, but I still don't like the way this was introduced. But
yeah,
but suddenly they're being probed. Worf announces, and there's a ship on an intercept course. So Picard says, "Magnify it," and it's just this unassuming looking square floating in space. And they go to yellow alert, but they don't want to seem like provocative, so they keep the shields down.
That seems like completely antithetical to the rule book, right? When you go into an unknown situation, shields up, I think, is the appropriate whatever. I got a lot of beef with this episode.
Yeah, there's beef to be had.
Data reports, and pay attention to this, the design is generalized. There's no bridge, no command center, no engineering section, and no living quarters. And importantly, no life signs.
Also, no shields, and there don't seem to have any weapons that they can discern anyway.
Picard makes a phone call, but there's no answer. So then he calls up Guinan, who's been observing the cube ship out the front window. And she goes to a bartender's office we've never seen before. Is this an office or her quarters?
I don't know. Maybe she lives behind. So you know how bartenders live over the bar? Maybe she lives behind the bar. I don't know.
It's almost definitely the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question, though.
Oh, damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Guinan says that these life forms are called the Borg.
Borg? Sounds Swedish.
They destroyed her people's cities and scattered them throughout the galaxy, and she offers a warning. Protect yourself, Captain, or they'll destroy you. So shields up, but a lot of good it does, because in engineering, we see one of these Borgs beam in, and Geordi calls security, intruder alert.
Security! Security. Too late.
More and more I realize that here is where I want to be. Think of the advantages. Now, I neither expect nor require any special treatment. And if necessary, although I can't imagine why, I will renounce my powers and become as weak and as incompetent as all of you.
So they all rush down to engineering and watch this dude. And it's like he's not noticing them at all. LaForge is thinking he's just making a visual survey of the engine core, and then it's just nosing around. Q pops in and decides to give his commentary. It's not a he or a she. It's nothing like you've ever seen before. And so Picard tries to talk to it. You know how he likes to introduce himself, like that's going to matter. And he asks, what do you want? We don't mean you any harm. And it doesn't even notice him. He's not interested in humans. He's just looking for shit. He's looking at their technology.
Let's talk a moment about the look of the Borgs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a black spandex bodysuit with like cable organizer tubes and shit like
random
glued all over to it.
Yeah.
This dude has one of its arms has been replaced with like some kind of high-tech Leatherman multi-tool gadget thing
that spins and
so very much cyborg.
As they're watching this, he takes that weird arm and he just sticks it to the screen, and you see this green electricity pop out. Picard, of course, tells him to stop, and I love this because it's kind of like the guy looks at him and then keeps doing it, like fuck you. The fuck you is silent. And he just keeps on like stealing shit, basically doing whatever to their computer system.
Yeah, he just ignores everybody. And Q tells us that this is a scout, probably the first of many. More will be coming. And he really doesn't give a shit about any of you. And again, although Q earlier, just a moment ago, said not a he or a she, continues to talk about this Borg as a he.
Mm-hmm.
He is only interested in your tech. Hell, he's probably going to try to take control of your ship. And sure enough, that's what that lightning seems to do. Like the power starts to dip in around the ship, and Worf sends in an ensign, and this poor UC ensign gets thrown clear across engineering by this Borg.
They start to shoot it, no effect, and then the Borg increases his green rays and looking at them the whole time.
Mm-hmm. The fuck you is getting louder.
Yeah, the fuck yous, the silent fuck yous are getting louder. And then that's when the lights go out. So they try to shoot him again. Worf changes the intensity on his phaser and shoots him, and that actually kind of knocks him out. But bad news, here comes another one. While one is out on the floor, another one beams in, finishes what the other one was doing. Suddenly the lights go out.
And now they've adapted. Worf's heater triggers a kind of shield around the Borg.
Yeah.
So this second Borg goes over to the first one and like picks a couple pieces off of him, and they both disappear and beam out. So Picard, Riker, Data, and Troy gather in the conference room with mission specialist Guinan, and here we learn that Guinan wasn't actually there when the Borg demolished her civilization, but she does know quite a bit about them. The initial visit here was simply information gathering, and Picard is just desperate in his Federation training to reason with these beings and explain to them that we're not a threat, but that is not how the Borg work.
Sometimes you gotta listen to the black woman and get the fuck out of there, like she told you. But...
Mm-hmm. Right? Like every horror movie ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Worf's got a call on line 1, and he transfers it over to the conference room where Picard answers, and we hear the Borg for the first time. And there were several things in this episode that seemed very primitive or like rudimentary to me. And this attempt at the many voices sound effect, I definitely did not remember this version of it. The one that's seared into my mind is much later, obviously.
Yeah.
Because this sounds very different from, the Borg voice that we know.
We have analyzed characterize your defensive capabilities as being unable to withstand us. If you defend yourselves, you will be punished.
Yeah.
But also, like, when we get onto the ship, there are parts of the ship playset that are, like, you know, very early versions of a thing that got punched up later that I just don't remember them being like that at all. It was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, but they didn't know, maybe they did, but they didn't know it was the Borg were going to become the baddie of the century. And so, and also, as they steal technology, they
adapt and
upgrade. Get better and upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we see the interior of the Borg ship, and the Borg say they've analyzed the D's defensive capabilities, and you're no match for us. Furthermore, if you try to defend yourselves, you will be punished.
Oh my! Punish me. Troy pipes up that they are not dealing with one mind. They don't have a single leader. It's like a collective mind, a hive mind, if you will.
Fucking Q appears on the view screen again and asks, you guys sure you don't want me to help you out?
More bad news, because Worf says that the Borg have locked onto them with a tractor beam. So back up to the bridge they go.
Back up to the bridge they go, just leaving Guinan sitting in the conference room alone.
Like, what the fuck you asked me here for? You ain't gonna listen to me anyway.
Yep.
Like, what? Like, just typical. Fucking typical.
So the beam is draining their shields, and they try to warp away, but the Borg tractor beam is too powerful. They try phasering the source of the tractor beam, but that has no effect. And finally, their shields are completely gone. And this incredibly memorable moment, some kind of laser beam slices into the hull of the saucer section, starts pulling a section out of the ship like a core biopsy or something. And
yeah.
And maybe this is the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question, because we see a cross-section of several decks being pulled out of the saucer, and it sure looks like there might be a toilet in there.
What was the question?
You may have gotten this one.
I did say bathroom again.
Yes, I'm pretty sure this question is like, what part of the ship that we've never seen before do we see in this episode?
Oh,
so it's either Guinan's room
Guinan.
Or it's this toilet. I don't know.
It's probably Guinan's. But yeah, that's a great way to put it. They're covering you up like a biopsy. Like, you know, they take a core of your...
Like a core sample out of the ice in the caps or whatever.
That shit hurts, though, too, when they do it from your skin.
Worf fires phasers at 3 different targets, and finally the Borg tractor beam is down. And rather than get the fuck out of here immediately, we just take our time getting damage reports and casualties. 18 UCs on the riprap count so far.
Yeah.
And the Borg ship has taken 20% damage, and life support is minimal. But earlier we learned there were no life signs, so what do they need life support for?
I guess they need to breathe. But yeah. So back they go to the conference room.
Hit the gas pedal, get the fuck out of here. Why are we going to have a meeting right now?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then in engineering, poor Sonya, new and green as all get out. She's trying to get the shields up, and LaForge is trying to tell her what to do. Then she's stuck on the 18 people dead. And hasn't she been watching the Star Trek, the Next Generation? When people die, you just like move on and worry about it later.
We've seen this from other characters before too, though.
Yeah.
I may have been Wesley one time that was like, man, I just can't shake.
People.
Yeah, I just can't shake all those people being dead.
Yeah, but then LaForge pulls her back to reality and like, we'll grieve later. We gotta get those shields up.
Okay. And this is 2025 sensibilities, I guess. And this is a pretty big emergency situation, but also.
Right.
If you watch this episode and the next, you would believe that Geordi and Sonya are the only fucking engineers on this whole ass ship.
Yeah.
Aren't there another... Sonya, you're fucked up from these deaths. Go to the counselor's office. I will tag someone else in to help me do this thing.
He's got a whole team.
Send this poor girl for some grief counseling.
Yeah, he's got a huge team.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they got to have her in the, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're paying her for the lines, not someone else.
Right.
Back in the conference room, Picard asks Guinan for more information, and she shares...
Why? You're not going to listen, bitch. I'll tell you everything, but you ain't going to listen.
She shares that these beings are a combination organic and artificial life, which they've been developing for thousands of centuries. And then Q flashes into the room, casually sitting in a chair with his feet up on the table. And he adds that the Borg are unlike anything the Federation has ever faced. They're the ultimate consumer. They don't care about politics, wealth, or power, not the power we think of. They're just interested in this technology, something they can consume. And I love this. Riker loses his cool a little bit here and like snaps at Q. You fucking brought us here and exposed us to these things, and now 18 people are dead, and it's your fault.
I don't think this got enough attention. The fact that those people died because of Q. Like, this was his fault. But Q is like, oh no, this isn't this isn't my fault, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that this was huge to me, because before Q was just a trickster, never really did any harm, but people died this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we'll get to this later, but this episode also tries to make the case that maybe this wasn't Q's fault.
I don't think so. Well, whatever.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that argument.
Yeah.
Picard hopes this is just one of Q's many illusions, but Q assures them this is as real as it gets, and in a flash, Q's gone again.
Then Worf has the casualty list, and Picard doesn't want to hear it right now. He's like, cancel, we'll deal with that later. So those poor 18 people are never going to get their RIP. Don't worry, I got you.
They will on this show.
This
show will give them, Riker's like, if we're going to deal with these things now or in the future, why don't we beam some people over there to learn more about them? They did that to us. It seems only fair. And then fucking Picard's like, sounds good. Just don't take too many people. And Guinan is like, are you people out of your fucking minds?
Does anyone listen to me? Have you?
No.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, let's white people shit. This is some white people shit. Hey, let's go over there. No.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, let's go in the spooky building.
No.
Assemble a minimal away team.
What? I wouldn't go there if I were you.
We're in the transporter room. O'Brien has the coordinates set, and Worf mentions no life sign readings. But remember when we drove up to the ship the first time, there were no life sign readings earlier?
Yeah.
We keep making a big deal out of this.
We get it. There's no life sign readings. Is there any life sign readings there? No, there's no life sign readings.
No life sign readings. Anyway, Riker says, heaters on stun, but be ready to go to plaid if shit goes sideways. So Riker, Worf, and Data beam over, and they arrive in this kind of a corridor lined with alcoves where each Borg seems to be in a kind of stasis. And Data thinks maybe they're not picking up life signs because when they're in these USB docking stations, they read as part of the collective whole and not individual life forms. Well, then wouldn't you detect one life form?
Yeah, because they're walking around still, and he's still not detecting them.
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that.
That's bullshit.
Riker calls up Picard to relay what they're learning. Meanwhile, Data finds himself an empty alcove, but the alcove is a lightning cable, and he's an android.
Data's like theorizing that they are connected somehow and working collectively through these slots. Each slot is specifically designed for a specific Borg.
That seems... I call bullshit on that, too.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Because shouldn't they be like a hot swap plug and play?
Yeah.
Shouldn't any Borgs be able to snap into any of these alcoves? Because that would be more efficient.
Yeah.
If this is a society that is
efficiency
driving itself towards being the most efficient.
You're right. Right. Whatever their technology that's required to achieve this biological and artificial interface is far beyond their. I mean, Data's like, I thought I was like the shit, but nah, these guys they're the real shit, and he's almost, I won't say in awe. Well, yeah, he's kind of in awe.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
he's showing his appreciation for the technology So these Borg are just walking around and not even noticing them. And Riker says they either don't see us or they don't see us as a threat.
This wide matte painting shot we get next is one of those core Trek memories, I think, seared into all the minds of TNG fans. The camera pulls back, showing the massive scale of this ship interior. Just alcove after alcove after alcove, hundreds of Borg alcoves
and floors
lining the walls of this thing. Yeah,
so
stacked
many
on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great fucking visual.
Picard calls O'Brien and says, if your lock on the team wavers in any way, shape, or form, you got to get him back here immediately.
And then we're back walking through the Borg ship looking for a central computer access terminal, but instead we stumble upon the Borg nursery.
Wait a second.
I don't remember this.
No, I don't remember this either because I didn't think that they could be born. I thought that everyone who makes up the Borg are just people from other races that they have assimilated.
Yeah.
Like
we see a Borg maturation chamber in Voyager when we pick up those lost boys or whatever. So there is, I guess that pulls on this thread, but yeah, Riker hits a button and pops out one of these Borg crib container things. And there is a very human looking baby with Borg tech glued to its body.
Mm-hmm.
And Riker says, so here's the thing. We don't know, right? Riker's speculating. He speculates that the Borg are born humanoid and then given implants, which again is a technology far beyond ours. And in this way, they connect AI directly with the human brain. And if you're not paying attention to the AI takeover of everything in 2025, I don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is this an infant that was assimilated?
Yeah.
Or, and Riker's just guessing wrong. He's making an assumption based on the evidence that they have, but it's not great evidence. And so he's led to the wrong conclusion.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure there are no born Borgs. So they just kidnapped a baby, basically. And they was like, hey, we got a nursery for you. I don't know.
Okay, Allie, 30 seconds on the clock. Titles of videos on Borg Hub.
Oh, Jesus.
Because if we have Borg babies, the Borg's got to be banging.
I'm trying to think of hot twinks. Hot twinks encounter techno zaddy. I don't know.
Choke on my interface.
Choke on my interface. Oh, I love it.
Come on my interface.
Come on my interface.
Resistance is futile. That's the BDSM channel. Resistance is futile.
Yep.
Let's see. We are the Borg. Prepare to be
assimilated.
Assimilated. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that was great. I love it.
Round over.
Data concludes that the reason none of the Borgs are paying attention to them is because they are using their collective efforts to repair the ship. And Picard's like, well, beam everybody back. We got to get the fuck out of here.
I was almost afraid that we weren't going to make it, but Picard had O'Brien beam them right to the bridge, and they do get the hell out of there. But guess what? It's too late because the Borg is chasing them, and they're already at warp 8. But then they do this cheesy. So as they're running and they see the Borg chasing them, Picard says, magnify the screen, 10 to the third power. And you see these cheesy shot of the cube like fixing itself, but it looked like clay. You know how like the claymation? That's what it looked like.
Yeah, like a stop motion thing.
Yeah.
So the Borg continue to gain. Worf licks off a couple of photon torpedoes, which have no effect, of course. And suddenly there's Q again, sitting at an aft station. And he's like, resistance is really futile here. Like the Borg are going to chase you until you run out of gas. And then you're fucked. And he's like, Picard, come on, just admit you're out of your league. You're not ready to face everything that's out here.
And he says, you should have stayed where you belonged. Well, bitch, you put us out here.
Let's get the hell out of here. Warp 8. Now, Mr. Crusher, engage.
Now, Q is lounging on the other side of the bridge at the bottom of the horseshoe. Such a baller. Just laying on the floor, like, kicked back, relaxed. Geordi can't give any more speed, and then the Borg fire, but there's no damage to the ship. This weapon is specifically designed to drain their shields, which makes sense if their plan is to just take the tech.
Right.
Another round of photon torpedoes with no effect, and Q says, you can't outrun them, you can't destroy them, you can't even really damage them. They just regenerate and keep coming. You can't fight, you can't run, you can't hide.
Worf reports that they've lost the shields again, and then more bad news from engineering. Guess what? They've lost the warp engine, so now they can't go anywhere.
The core of this episode comes to its head here as Q blasts Picard for his stubbornness and arrogance. And they prepare to fire another round, despite the high probability that without shields, they would blow themselves up too. And then I love when this happens. Q switches places with Data in a flash. And now Data's laying on the floor. And Q's like, well, I'll be leaving now. You all said you could handle whatever awaits you out here, so fucking handle it. But Picard finally puts down his arrogance and asks Q to put an end to all of this. He says, you wanted to frighten us, we're frightened. You wanted to show us that we're inadequate for the moment? I'll give you that one. You wanted me to say, I need you. I need you. And with a snap and a smirk, Q throws the Enterprise back to where we started. Then Q swaps places with Riker and compliments Picard on his momentary humility. Another man would have rather died than say, I need help. And Picard's like, oh, I understand the lesson this week. It's just, I think maybe we could have learned it without causing Allie to rip-rap about 18 members of my crew.
Yeah.
And then Q says, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the universe, which is an echo to the trial of humanity that started this whole series. He tells Picard, like, wondrous and terrifying the universe is, it's not safe out here. It's not for the timid. Maybe you should go back home and hide under your bed. And that has been a taunt since the beginning. That was the very first thing. Q said, you have gone out into the galaxy too far already. Turn around and go home.
Mm-hmm. Q disappears, and they head to Starbase 83 because they got to tell people. They got to go tell everyone what they just fucking experienced about the.
Well, they also have to repair that missing core section from the saucer.
Well, yeah, that too, and then more in the 18. But yeah.
Picard and Guinan have a private chair chat in 10 Forward, playing some different 3D game. It's not chess or checkers, but these pieces look to me like a transparent version of the Candyland player pieces. There's no triumphant Star Trek music this week. No, this one ends with a warning and a queasy feeling. Guinan points out that the Borg are aware of Starfleet and the Federation now, so they'll be coming eventually. And she says something really strange given what she's said previously in this episode. She says, maybe one day you'll figure out how to establish a relationship with the Borg, but right now you're just raw material to them. And I thought, that was really strange, given all of her, like, you can't negotiate with these terrorists. They're going to fuck you up no matter what. Now she thinks maybe one day we can negotiate and make a peace. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to be hopeful. But yeah, this doesn't sound like the Guinan that we know and love.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Picard tries to sew in a little silver lining. Maybe, he says. Maybe Q did the right thing for the wrong reason. Maybe we needed a kick in the pants to prepare us for what lies ahead. Off to the next adventure.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'll be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but you know, I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
All right, let's put it on trial here. This one was rough for me. I thought that the episode is trying to make the argument that Picard is so fucking arrogant and stubborn about humanity's abilities that it would take all of this to get him to ask for help. And maybe that might have worked better if it wasn't Picard. Picard is always getting a diversity of viewpoints and working out the puzzle as a team and asking for help. But here they just tie the whole thing to, well, we can't trust Q as the reason we dismiss Q at every turn. I just don't buy that. I think Picard would have come to that sooner.
Halfway through this episode, because I hate Q. I hate it when Q shows up, but part of like 3/4 through this episode, I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if we all had a Q? Because like everybody, like Q knows what's gonna happen. He's like exists in all planes of time. Like he knows the beginning, end, and wherever. You know what I mean? He knows what's gonna happen, doesn't he?
Presumably, he's a god figure. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I hate the way he does it. But if we all had a Q to come into our life, let's say when we're 20, and tell us, don't fucking do that. Don't fucking do what I know you're going to do next year, because that's going to change the course of your life. Like, that would be nice to have. A warning of someone, I wish he didn't do it in the way he does it. Like, why did 18 people have to die?
Right.
And so maybe I can sort of appreciate, like, he did the right thing for the wrong reason or whatever. But I have to wonder, maybe they would have eventually encountered the Borg, but he threw them in their path. And did he have to do that?
Right. And all because Picard wouldn't be humble. That's what I keep sticking to, is this the catalyst for Q throwing them all the way out there is that Picard was so arrogant and stubborn and like, nah, we got this without you. And so he was like, well, fine then, fuck you. I'll show you you're not ready without me. The episode tries to lay this on Picard. It really feels like it's Q's fault for all of this happening. But had Picard just said, sure, you can hang out with us for a little while, crash on our couch, and if some shit comes up, we'll ask you for help.
But Q makes it hard to, because
we don't trust him.
Because of all the stuff he's done, he's always fucking with them. And this goes into, why should we, I'm going a little too deep, but why do we want to believe in a god that has to play all these games?
Yeah.
Like, be straight in the first place.
Yep.
Like, you just show up whenever you want and then show us shit. And then, like, if Q wanted to teach him a lesson or tell him something, just show up and tell him. Don't kidnap him. Don't kidnap Picard. That's not a way to get people to do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And if Picard's arrogance is the issue, take Picard. Maybe do snatch Picard. Maybe take Picard in a shuttle clear across the universe to show him these terrible, strange, and wonderful things that exist out there that you should be afraid of, that you're not really prepared for. But instead, 18 people died.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessary to drive a point home.
Yeah. And maybe there is that colonizer mentality of, we're just ripping through the universe and we are arrogant. Yeah. I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, there's a part of that really rang for me of, like, there is a lesson about being stubborn and not asking for help. Like, we do as humans often let arrogance and pride and stubbornness and all sorts of shit get in the way. And it's a feeling of supremacy in a way.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lesson that it's not weak to ask for help. And I think a lot of the perception comes out of our particular brand of American exceptionalism and rugged individualism, right? I can do it on my own. I don't need a collectiveness. I alone can handle it in my covered wagon braving the West. Like there is this individualist history in America, but as a species, we're a social communal species. We need each other.
Yeah.
And and we all have different strengths to bring to a situation, and it's not weak to say, in this situation, I'm not the expert. Allie, you should handle this. Will you help?
Yeah.
There's a strength in that. And like, we really need to rewire our thinking and reject this individualist bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, Allie, we have some tombstones to put up.
I was reading over this rhyme and I had fun writing it, but I don't really say a whole lot about the 18, but I mentioned them in there.
Okay, well that's enough.
Well, I did write a rhyme about it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear it?
Of course.
Here it goes.
We're here together to honor our friend and comrade. We will all find time to grieve for her in the days that are ahead. But for now, she has asked that we celebrate her life with this.
Q who? Q who? Q who? Q who? Fucking Q is back messing with Picard's ship, and he's up to his usual motherfucking tricks. Steals a shuttlecraft and takes Picard on a ride. The rest of the crew don't even know he's no longer inside. Guinan's spidey senses tingling and they won't quit. Something's wrong and she can't put her finger on it. P and Q inching forward like nothing happened. Guinan sees Q and she just wants to slap him. Temps start to flare up. Q and Guinan about to square up. Worf and Riker start to roll up. Shit's about to blow up. Q snaps his fingers, sends a D, hurling through space. There's an enemy that they better get ready to face. This enemy sent 18 people to the morgue. We all know, shout it out, it's the fucking Borg. Q, what the fuck did you just do?
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you.
I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money.
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
All right, as always, we want to thank everyone who supports the show, and we want to especially thank our founding admirals at patreon.com/humanisttrek. A special thanks to Allie, Peter, Sarah D, Bruce, the Bear and Cured podcast, and some call him Tim. Thank you all so much for supporting the show.
Thank you, guys.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind.
Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Becca is back now for the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge question for Q Who. Remind us and everyone at home what the question was.
In this episode, we see the first and only appearance of what room on the ship? Sarah guessed a torpedo launcher room, and Allie guessed the kitchen.
Oh, I thought she said the bathroom.
So wrong.
Oh, the kitchen.
I think she said bathrooms,
and
but
then changed it.
Then worked her way
All
to
right,
kitchen.
So, in the episode, we came up with two potential answers.
Ah, okay.
So we see in one scene, Guinan leave the bar, go around into the hallway and into a room behind the bar, which must be her office or the bartender's quarters or something.
Yeah.
And then also we see when the Borg do the little laser thingy and take a core sample out of the saucer section of the D, we see a cross cut of several decks, and we're pretty sure we saw a toilet in one of those. But what's the correct answer?
This marks the first and only appearance of Guinan's office, which is located across the corridor from starboard entrance to 10 forward.
The Admiral is definitely incorrect.
God damn it. How would I have ever known that?
That was the point.
I know, you're a bitch.
Yep.
Next week, we'll be reviewing Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2, Episode 17, Samaritan Snare. While Picard fights for his life in surgery, Geordi is held hostage by the leaders of an alien race. Oh, I remember this one now. Suddenly, it just hit me. This is the Packleds.
Oh, those guys. Oh, I hate them. Those guys who they weren't very smart, but they were very cunning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some stereotyping that we'll end up talking about with those guys because I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like the way, there's just something that doesn't feel right about it.
Right.
About the way that they portray this alien race. Anyway, and also this is the one where Picard goes back to Dr. Beverly for heart surgery, right?
Oh, was he because he's got that thing in his
Yeah, from the Nausicaans. And the Nausicaans stabbed him through the heart or whatever, and so he has a bionic heart. All right, well, none of this has anything to do with the question, so what's the question for Samaritan Snare?
What is the significance of the Packled names Grebnidlog and Reginald? Would you like me to spell them for
What?
you?
Yeah.
Okay. Grebnedlog is Grebnedlog. And Reginald is Reginod.
So like Reginald. So these are probably some people, right?
Grebnidlog. What the fuck?
Spell it again. I think I got
God.
it. Spell it again.
It's something backwards.
Yes. Get your pen and paper ready.
Grebnedlog. Grebnedlog.
Grebnidlog backward is Goldberg.
And Reginald.
Reginald?
Daniger? But who are those people?
Were they the actors who played the
writers,
Packleds?
actors.
Because one of the episodes, John Tesh was John Tesh was a Star Trek fan and he wanted to be a Klingon, so he got to play the Klingon when Borg did his Age of Ascension thing, and they named him Cal Tesh as a play on his own name or something like that, as a Klingon. So I'm wondering maybe it's a play on their own name, I don't know though. I really don't know.
Yeah, are we gonna go with it's the actors' last names backwards?
Yeah, it's something with the actors.
Okay. Is that sufficient for your purposes?
It will tell me what I need to know in order to how to score you, but yes.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
If you want to play along, you know how to do that. Head out to your favorite social media, spell your name backwards, and tell us what this answer is. We'll pick out a winner. You can call us at 920-550-TREK, send us a text, drop a email, however you want to get a hold of us. We like that. And next week, we'll discuss Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2, Episode 17, Samaritan Snare.
Glory to your house.
Make it so, number one.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcast. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/humanisttrek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.